Sierra Leone's population is relatively young. 60% of citizens are under age 25, and its population size is increasing. Still, the country is subject to numerous negative factors that prevent its population size from growing at an even quicker rate. These dangerous factors include poverty, lack of clean water, poor nutrition, lack of health care services, and as we will focus on in this segment, the prevalence of female genital mutilation. According to UNICEF, 9 out of 10 women and teenage girls experience female genital mutilation, or FGM, in Sierra Leone. This country is ranked 7th out of 28 countries in Africa with the highest FGM rates. FGM is seen in Sierra Leone as a method of purifying women to prepare them for marriage. In many cases, the practice causes fatal health problems. FGM is promoted by secret Sierra Leonean societies, which are led by women. These societies exist in every town and are often linked to the country's politics, which causes more problems. This is our tradition. When someone has matured, they must go through the bando before they can be respected, one leader told The Guardian. Girls and women are initiated into these groups with FGM ceremonies that are left by the site of the surgery, which is called the bando bush, to learn more about their role in society. Women are taught that they must cook, do laundry, and clean, among other typical jobs for wives and mothers. Last August, one 19-year-old woman died because of the FGM procedure. Her death sparked outrage from human rights groups, but she was certainly not the first to die because of FGM, and not the last. One FGM opponent told Huffington Post, "This is one death too many. Too many lives are blighted by FGM." She continued, "There are lots of rural girls who would have died and been buried without anyone taking notice. This is why it is unclear how many women and girls have died because of the FGM procedure in Sierra Leone." Anti-FGM activists experienced difficulty in processing this dangerous practice because of this procedure's strong links to Sierra Leonean culture. But now more than ever, people everywhere are realizing the extent to which FGM increases countries' death rates. And in recent years, aware of the potentially fatal consequences of the procedure, many young Sierra Leoneans have attempted to avoid surgery. According to the Huffington Post, one 16-year-old girl said, "I am not safe in this house. I'm not safe in this community. I'm afraid, when I lie down to sleep, that one day they will grab me, tie me up, and take me to that place." She was referring to the Bondo Bush. This 16-year-old has now missed 2 years of school as punishment for avoiding the procedure.
Sierra Leone is a rapidly growing country with an estimated population of 6.2 million, up from 5.5 million in 2008. The country has a population density of 79 people per square kilometer, which ranks 114th in the world. The Western Area Urban District, which includes the capital and largest city, known as Freetown, has a population density of 1,224 people per square kilometer. Sierra Leone is one of the poorest countries in the world and is facing many challenges. It has one of the highest youth unemployment rates in Africa, 60%, and much of its drinking water is collected from polluted sources. It has one of the worst literacy rates in Africa, and health problems include HIV, AIDS, malaria, yellow fever, and about 81% of its population lives under the poverty line. It is very aid dependent, with nearly one-half of its government budget being financed by international grants and loans. This fact, coupled with weak government structures, are amongst the reasons why Sierra Leone has not moved forward more quickly in implementing more effective and efficient aid models. These two facts put the government in a weak negotiating position vis-a-vis official donors. Donors are funding approximately 265 different aid projects in Sierra Leone. Many of these projects are implemented unbeknownst to the government, which struggles to capture information about the diverse and competing initiatives in the country. Parallel governance structures are also regularly established. Examples include the Decentralization Secretariat, the HIV/AIDS Secretariat, the Governance Reform Secretariat, as a way of donors pushing their priorities whilst bypassing the government structures they do not trust. One program that has forged ahead in the struggle for stability in Sierra Leone is PMC, or the Population Media Center. PMC has a number of radio serial dramas in Sierra Leone, including the most recent, Salwanse, Puppet on a String. PMC's dramas have been incredibly popular and effective in Sierra Leone. Salwanse's listeners were 3.1 times more likely than non-listeners to say that you can decrease your chances of getting AIDS by using a condom every time you engage in sexual activity. Listeners were also 2.9 times more likely than non-listeners to say that they knew where they can get condoms if they needed. In addition to material assistance from the UN, educational programs like Puppet on a String by groups like PMC should be a primary concern.
A message from the people to the government. It says, affection shouldn't be so risky. Make contraception more available for when we get frisky. So, little rhyme there. Here we have a chimpanzee mother holding 5 children, thinking to herself, even with 4 hands, counting her feet, taking care of 5 children is difficult, and that's true. And she's holding groceries, food, chalk, pencil, and ruler, education, and just general care and attention in her other arm. Sierra Leone and Western Africa in general is quite notorious for the lack of contraceptives they have and are available to the people. And this is a pretty solid depiction of what it's doing to the nation. Sierra Leone is here, represented by the tree, and is under a lot of stress, seeing cracking on this branch under the weight of this large population. And so that's it. That should be a minute and a half at least. Focuses a bit more on the Mathis population theory, when population intersects resources and the country goes into crisis. From about 1991 to 2001, Sierra Leone experienced a civil war. The war still takes a toll, even after a decade. The war ended. It appeared to be the most instrumental helper in getting Sierra Leone back on its feet was the United Nations High Commissions for Refugees, the UNHCR. Here they helped align back to his feet, obviously symbolically representing Sierra Leone, Leone literally meaning lion. But this is a kind of controversial topic in Sierra Leone because many people are concerned about the UN's tendency to imperialize and to colonize nations and create economic relationships where the offspring nation is dependent on the mother nation. But to me, I think that it's worth the risk because of all the good the UNHCR is doing at the moment. Things that it might be doing are helping the displaced, providing education, contributing to the use of the contraceptives, what we saw last time, so scarce in Western Africa.